every Monday through Thursday because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story and you want us to bring it to adult conversations, you have a story and you want us to bring it to adult conversations, you want us to weigh in on it, you want us to give you some good advice, please send your story along with your name and contact number. Send your story along with your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Tonight on Adult Conversations. My ex keeps texting. My ex keeps texting. My name is Sandra, and a digital marketer. Last year, my ex got married. He reached out to me and wanted us to remain good friends, which I knew was a bad idea. Recently, he keeps messaging me at odd hours, trying to hold conversations, but I always keep it short. I'm not in any relationship or anything, but I feel like he's trying to make a move on me, and his wife doesn't even know about me. Am I reading too much into this or what? Please give me some good advice. That right there is the voice of Sandra. That's Sandra's story tonight. Sandra is saying she's 26, she's a digital marketer. Last year, her ex got married, and later after getting married, he reached out to her and apologized for hurting her, and wanted them to remain good friends. According to Sandra, she said she knew that that was a bad idea. So she said recently he keeps messaging her at night, or he keeps messaging her at odd hours, trying to hold conversations, but she always keeps it short. She said she's not in a relationship or anything, but she feels like he's trying to make a move on her, and she doesn't even know about her. Please, am I ready or what? Please advise me. And that's from 07000. I mean, the number to do that is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Remember, you can send a text, a WhatsApp message. You can send a text, a WhatsApp message on to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And of course, anywhere you are in the world, you can listen via the stream link www.wf917.com. www. W Let me take that again. www.wfm917.com. Thank you so much. Now, please, when you call, ensure that you turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it all the way down, through and through, so we can hear you clearly. And we don't keep saying, oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? When we know that we can trust you and we can hear you. Also, please, if you want to join the Adult Conversation Family WhatsApp group, you can always do that because the group is open to receiving members every single time. And to do that, you can send your information, send your name and contact number. Send your name and contact number via WhatsApp, indicating interest in joining the group. Send your name and contact number via WhatsApp, indicating interest in joining the group. Now, when you do that, of course, you'll be added on to the group. All right, I'm taking messages from the Adult Conversations Family Group first, because that is the category of people that will always give advice first. All right, so this one is coming in from Engineer Frank. Engineer Frank says, stay away from anything that has to do with your ex. Decline him. If his intentions were clear, it shouldn't be late at night. He's trying to make you his side chick. Forget him and forge ahead. Hmm. Okay. Amaumi from Ikorodu is saying the men and their bad behavior. Men and their bad behavior. What is the meaning of being friends after getting married to another woman? Please, oh my sister, don't even near him, oh. He will use you and drop you, please. And that's from Amaumi from Ikorodu. Okay, so this one is coming in from the person who leave their name here. Oh, okay. The person doesn't leave their name. All right, so this one is coming in from from Francis from Ibafu is adding to what he said. And Francis is saying, since he has apologized to you, just move on. Forgive him and move on. Your husband is on the way. My advice for Sarah tonight is that you should block him or put his number on blacklist. Since he's married to someone else, why is he still disturbing you again? What else does he want? And that's from Francis from Ibadan. All right. So Madam Wumi from Magbere says that thing between women's legs will only kill men who are unable to control their libido. All right, thank you. Talk from Okorodu is saying fantastic evening to all the members in the building. My advice to Sandra is that since the relationship between you two didn't end well, it's obvious that your ex never truly loved you. I wonder whether your ex has conscience. If after breaking your heart, he still has the effrontery to call you and even asking you remain good friends. Ere Ekene ni Abujambe Kunshi. Frankly speaking, your ex wants to keep you periodically to satisfy his sexual urge, and this in every sense is wicked. But this is in every sense for insensitive, and most importantly, your ex and his wife. Keep this philandra away from you for the sake of your future and also the security of this um and also the security of the marriage, of his marriage. If he wants to destroy his marriage, don't be an accomplice, lest you ignore the wrath of God. And that's coming from Tokwe from Ikorodu. Moses from Ikorodu is also saying, Sandra, I will suggest you threaten to tell his wife if he is persistent. If he continues to be a stubborn guy, just block him. And that's from Moses from Ikorodu. All right. Stitches from Ikorodu is saying, good evening, house. You need no advice. You need no advice, Sandra. Okay, that's it. You need no advice, Sandra. The guy wants to, okay, pidgin English can be tricky sometimes. You need no advice, Sandra. The guy wants to water. And that is um stitches from Ikorodu. I'm hoping that water probably means something along the lines of have sex, use you for a fling, and not anything serious. I'm hoping that's what that means. But hey, you can call me and let me know what you think it means, or let me know what correct pronunciation is. All right. So Brownie from Lagos is saying, "Hello, Sandra. There's nothing to think about here psychologically. You already know what his intents are, and it would be too bad leaving or dealing with a loose married man. He's so sensitive about your strengths and weaknesses. That's why you're still having difficulties not knowing what to do. Not knowing what to do. Not that you don't know what to do. My dear, start feeling his matter like the dead and non-existent and send his memories a lifetime journey from Lagos. All right. People are taking this ones very, very differently. But yes, thank you very much. Now, this situation is one that is very, very dicey. It's one that's very dicey. But definitely, you can keep your calls coming in. You can start calling. The number to call is 07000 Remember also to send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Okay, please call back. All right. Now, this particular situation is one that is very it feels like the story itself is just big. Let me put it that way. It's just big. It's just big. But the major point here, and this is what I want us to focus on, is the fact that Sandra's ex keeps texting her. Her ex keeps texting her and keeps talking to her, rather. He also sent her text messages and he calls towards the late hour, towards night. That's when he calls. And she's saying, am I reading too much into this or what? Please advise me. So she's basically saying she doesn't really know what's going on, but she needs your advice. All right. So please call in 07000 07000 Send a text to 0703 1756537. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good
My name
evening.
is Felix. I'm calling. My name is Felix. I'm calling from India, sir.
All right. Felix, are you calling for the first time?
No, no,
All right.
I've been a while, sir. I've been a while. Happy New Year, ma'am.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You?
I had a good day too. Thank you so much. All right. Please go
Uh,
ahead.
I have questions to ask.
Oh, okay.
Does she still love me?
Mm.
Number one, what that's my question. But if she's no longer in love with him again, let I just block him. Let I just block him.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I.
Okay. So if she still loves him, Felix, if she still loves him, but since he's married to somebody else, she knows she has to move on. So
That's. I mean, I don't know how she maybe if she still love him. Because you don't even know what to because if she does not love him again, yes, I just love him. But if she still love him, but if she still love him, she can go ahead and be the second wife.
oh, okay.
Alright.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Felix.
Alright.
Okay, so Felix is talking tonight, and Felix is saying that if she doesn't love him, she can just block him. This is not rocket science. You can pick up your phone and just block him. And somebody said that in the comment section as well. But he said, if she still loves him, she should go ahead and be his second wife. All right, all right, all right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Is this Grandma?
Yes, ma.
Grandma Debayo.
Grandma Lainka.
Grandma Lainka. Hey, good evening. Good to hear from you. So good to hear from you. Thank you for calling.
Happy New Year.
Abina, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry to use that language. So she should block him. In fact, she should not be nice to him again. She should stop it. It's an insult to womanhood. That man is insulting us. So you should block him. Like somebody said, you should tell the wife. What nonsense?
Yes, we got that message. We got that message that she should threaten. We got that message. Got that message that she should threaten to block the wife. Yes, I mean she should threaten to report to the wife.
Yes, tell the wife. Okay. The man doesn't have any conscience. He's wicked, and you see such young men we have around. No. He never loved Sandra. Sandra, she doesn't know that. He never loved her.
All right, thank you.
That's my conclusion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
You too. So that's Grandma Adebayo. Grandma Lainka. Grandma Adebayo, we haven't heard from you in a really, really long time. I hope you're fine. I hope everything's okay. But that was Grandma Lainka. And Grandma Lainka is saying that she should block him. This kind of thing, they don't need to talk about it too much. Just block him and move on. Block him, move on. He just wants to use you and move on with his life. So if he really loves you, he would have ended up with you. He will have ended up with you, not with somebody else. So she's saying, block him. Don't treat him like a friend. Nothing. Just block him and move on. So that's from Grandma Olainka. Of course, keep your calls coming in, keep your messages coming in. This is still Adult Conversations on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
They keep wondering, I'm unstoppable. How I'm unstoppable. Sometimes to slow me down, but I'm undraggable. Yes, I'm undraggable. Every expectation of me, it comes to the easy. Myself has in between. I'm on the way, brouncing. Search your name, no one find it go. Just keep something. Respect your neighbor, wife and network. Just keep browsing. Respect your neighbor, Wi-Fi network. Just keep something. Respect your neighbor, Wi-Fi network.
10 hours for your limited browsing. This one in my door. This one in my door. They put it on the way I can do. No more hard. I'm a so we go on.
Just keep browsing. Respect your neighbor, Wi-Fi network. Just keep something. Respect your neighbor, Wi-Fi network. If you love us, like us.
And if you don't love us, like us.
It's facebook.com/WFM
917. If you want to see what we look like,
we slay.
Subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WFM 917.
What are the consequences of corruption on the woman? Silence. Silence through diverse forms: education, healthcare, laws and policies, fostering unfavorable conditions to the woman at all levels. The woman agenda, breaking that silence, demanding accountability, transparency, and good governance. The woman agenda is deliberate and calculative in amplifying the voice of women. The woman agenda, Fridays, 2 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward. Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind.
How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means.
We should address Nigerian problems. We should not. Yes,
Mondays through Fridays from 9:15 a.m.
on WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You can enjoy the conversation by tweeting us at WFM 917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, Voice of Women.
One apple, take one.
Oh, my name is Bisi Abiola.
Titilola Akila, advocate of Nigeria.
My name is Nafumi Falano. I'm the lawyer.
My name is Saiwa Jailanset.
I be mama, I be wife.
My name is Dr. Joe Udumake. I want everybody when they listen, make them know, say, oh now, be the best.
Don't get woman. Now, every Monday from 7:15 to 7:30 a.m., I'm going to hear on our radio. Woman FM 1.7. Oh.
A bonge woman. Jim, woman.
The big question.
Corruption is important. Imprisonment never had a stake and whether Saturn and
Why?
Everything has increased.
Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays through Fridays at 12:15 p.m. on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. 26 minutes to the hour of 10 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight on Adult Conversations, we're profiling Sandra's story. Sandra is telling us, I'm 26 and a digital marketer. Last year, my ex got married. Then he reached out to me after, apologizing for hurting me and wanting us to remain good friends, which I knew was a bad idea. Now, recently, he keeps messaging me at odd hours, trying to hold conversations, but I always keep it short. I'm not in a relationship or anything, but I feel like he's trying to make a move on me, and his wife doesn't even know about me. Am I reading too much into this or what? Please give me advice. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, this is Christopher from Oba.
Hello, Christopher. Thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
I'm good, thank you. Please go ahead.
I don't understand the topic. I just on my radio now. Can I let you know?
Oh, okay, sure. Christopher, this is the story. Sandra is 26. She's a digital marketer by profession. Her ex got married last year, but after he got married, he reached out to her, telling her that he wanted them to remain friends and basically just said that he wants them to continue being friends and apologize for hurting her. Now, Sandra says she keeps receiving messages from him, particularly at odd hours. So he will call her at odd hours. He will message her at odd hours, trying to keep up conversation. And she says she used to reply, but she keeps it very short. She says she's not in a relationship, but she thinks that he wants to make a move on her, but she doesn't know whether she's thinking right or not. So she's saying, am I reading too much into this whole scenario or not? So what do you think?
Because she doesn't love the guy. Had it been there is love, you love the girl, you look at abandon and get married to another person. So there is the best thing for the girl to block the guy line and put ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Christopher says to block the guy and move on. Block the guy and move on. Block him and move on. Now, this situation of blocking him and moving on is one that would really work if Sandra decides to do this. If she decides to do this, it will work. But the blocking him part has to be done by her. So if she's asking, am I reading too much into this or not? So until she makes this decision, whether or not she's reading too much into this or not, then and only then will she decide whether to block him or not. But what is your advice? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mom.
Chichi, good evening. How are you?
This is so How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Fantastic.
How was your day?
Fine, my day was good.
It has been long. What about Miss Baby?
She's fine.
My regards to her.
Definitely.
Comrade, I haven't heard his voice this year.
He's been calling.
My regards to all the members of Father Conversation family.
Thank you so much.
All right. My advice to Sandra tonight is, number one, your guy left you for another woman. He left you and married another girl. You're supposed to see the handwriting on the wall. He didn't like you for a wife, or he liked you for a friend, for a sex. Maybe probably the new wife is not giving him what he wants. And he doesn't want you for a wife. You know that he wants you for a friend. You'll be giving him what he wants. If I'm you, the first time I heard that my friend, my boyfriend or whatever got married, I would just block him. No need of seeing his ugly face. I don't know, I'm talking about myself. The first time you hear that he's married, block him. You don't need anything from him again because this temptation, there's something like temptation. Block him. Once you block him, there's no way to contact you. No need of try and report it to the wife. Just do the blocking thing. That is my advice.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chichi.
That is it. All right. Good night.
Good night. Okay. So that's Chichi. And Chichi saying if it were her, as soon as she heard that he was married, she would have blocked him immediately. She would have blocked him immediately so that she would just see there that particular line of communication and stop seeing his updates or anything, let alone having him call her. So she would have blocked him and ended that as soon as she had heard. So that's the same advice that she's given to Sandra. She's telling Sandra, block him. Just block him and end things completely so that he will even be finding it hard to reach you. So that's what Chichi's saying. Block him and just make things clear that it's over. You don't want to be reached. You don't want to have any business with him once and for all. And that's that. So I would like to know how long this has been going on for. How long? First, when did he get married? When did he get married? He said last year. When last year did he get married? And when did he start messaging you to apologize and saying that he wants you to be friends, so that it will give us a timeline. And then how long did you date for? How long did you date for? How did your relationship end? Did he break up with you and then get married? Or was it like those really, really bad stories that we hear sometimes, that you think you're still in a relationship, but your boyfriend is literally getting married to somebody else, and maybe you have a picture or something, and that's how you even find out. So what are the answers to those questions? Yes. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, Santo. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm good. How was your day?
My day was good. Thank you.
Not good. Henry from the call.
Hello, Harry. Thank you for calling.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you for calling. Please, what's your advice? What's your advice to Sandra tonight?
First and foremost, I'll ask you, for how long are they dating for?
Okay, so I just asked that question not too long ago, and we've not gotten any response yet. So, as always, let's just profile the story from what we know.
For me, I don't think that relationship is a relationship of a year or 2 years.
Okay.
And if the guy went ahead and get married to other lady, fine. So I believe it's not easy for that lady to let go, honestly speaking. As far as there is love there, it's not easy. Because I believe this guy has his way of how to get this lady back by having him as a friend. The only thing I will just say to the lady is just that since the deal has been done, it's not easy. You should just let go of it and move ahead in this life. God will provide a better man for you. You should just block the guy off, block him off. I know it's not easy, but just try and let go.
All right.
So I can you can be able to start a new life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you for calling. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay. So that's Harry now, and Harry is saying he knows that it might be difficult to let go of the guy completely, particularly if the relationship lasted a long time, maybe more than 1 year, 2 years. It might be difficult to just let him go and act like you don't love him anymore. But he's saying that it's important that you do. So just block him and try your best to move on. Things will get better with time. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Loveth from Ijaye. I need you to speak louder, please.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I need you to speak louder.
Okay, sorry, I have a little problem with my voice.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Just try to give me a little bit more volume.
Okay. Please, Sandra, on the first note, should know that this guy does not love him. The apology he rendered, was he apologizing for replacing Sandra with another woman? That means he cannot play the role of the person he has put in doubt. So what he needs is just someone to play games with. So Sandra, I think she's reading too much by even replying his text messages. She should have blocked him instantly, no matter what led to their separation. That means she has no value in his heart or in his home. That's what he told her. His apology has no meaning. The text messages and every other thing, they are for them. I advise to block him because she continues, she's reading too much and it leads to something else which is against God. That is my advice.
Thank you very much, Loveth. Thank you so much for calling.
Sorry, your first time caller.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Please keep calling. We want to hear more from you. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Lover from Ijaye is saying that you're not doing anything you're not supposed to do. She said, as a matter of fact, the fact that you're still replying his messages may mean that you're encouraging him. So she's basically saying, show that you need him to stop talking to you. You need him to stop communicating with you by blocking him. When he apologized, did he apologize based on the fact that he was sorry for dumping you and replacing you with another woman? Or what was he apologizing for? She said his apology is useless because it doesn't make any sense at this point. So she's saying just end it, cut short the conversation and block him so that you can finally find it somewhere in your heart to move on for yourself. All right. So this story of Sandra tonight is one that, if you think about it critically, you see that there's a lot of emotion tied in between this. Emotion, particularly if Sandra is still in love with this guy. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What is your name or where are you calling from?
My name is Ismail Abdullah. I'm calling from Ajuma.
Abdullah from Ajuma. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right. Please.
Yeah,
Yes,
what?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, my contribution tonight is number one. We need to have Sandra. When they are in relationship, were they in relationship with agreement that they are going to get married? Because it do happen several times that two parties may be friends. The other one may be nothing that they will get married, while the second person will not be nothing that. Because I remember when I was in tertiary institution, the lady that we are very good friends, we read together, eat together. But one time, in my own way, I just call her, no, we cannot get married, we are just friends. So that she said, what now, this and that, which means she is already nothing it. Why I, the man, is not having it in mind. Now, so that is by the way. So what I'm saying this is this, because she may have it in mind, why the other man may not have that. But if both of them, that means Sandra and the guy, has come together and agreed that they are going to get married, and at the end, the man betrayed, my own candid advice is Sandra should just be away from him, so that you not just be maybe use and dump, or just come when you feel like anything, just come to her, then and go. But if while they were friends, there's never agreement, both of them are never.
Let me interject there. When you say friends, do you mean in a relationship? Is that what you mean?
Not relationship that okay, they are going to get married. They just be moving together and saying doing things together. Come to my house, you go. Like come to your house, you go. Then
She called him her ex.
She
called him her ex.
What?
She called him her ex. She called him her ex. If he's her ex, then that means they were in a relationship.
It can be just ex-boyfriend.
That's what I'm saying. If they're boyfriend and girlfriend, if they're boyfriend,
if it's an ex-fiancé, that means they have already agreed that they are going to get married, and he now betrayed her. My candid advice is Sandra should stay away from the man. That's just it. If you just
if they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, there was no proposal. What's your advice?
Yes. If there is no proposal, she was the one just nothing. Like they are going to get friend. There's no proposal, no nothing.
Let me explain something.
Can still continue. They can still be good friends. Because like the girl I'm talking about now, that I told them, you guys see that the friendship is getting intimate, getting deep. I said, I'm not going to marry you, and these are the reasons.
Abdullah.
Yeah.
This girl that you're talking about, that you told her you're not going to marry her, were you in a relationship with her? Were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
We are just boyfriend and girlfriend in the school. We live together, we eat together. She comes to my house, I go to her house. That's all.
Abdullah, you are either in a relationship or you're not. There's nothing like boyfriend and girlfriend in this school. Even in schools, people are in serious relationships. So were you in a relationship with this person or not? Or she just liked you and both of you were just moving around? You were not dating. Were you dating?
We are not dating, and then that is why I said I let her know that we are not dating. No,
that's different.
But and let her know we are not dating. Why she has already nothing such? Because when I told her, she was shocked.
Okay, Abdullah, I will need you to let me speak sometimes. Okay. So when you say one, you let me speak, and then I respond. So that's how the conversation goes. So if you're saying that was your case, if you were not dating, that's different from this situation. It's different because she was dating this guy. Now, usually when two people, when two people are dating, I'm still speaking. When two people are dating, usually it simply means that we're both in a relationship, usually heading somewhere, except there's a disclaimer from the very beginning of the relationship that, oh, this is not anything serious. We are just having fun. And then both parties from the beginning already know that it's not serious. But if two people are in a relationship, automatically it's assumed that it's a serious relationship, particularly if they're not seeing anybody else. So whether or not there was a proposal, that relationship was serious. That's what I'm saying. So there's nothing like she was nothing to marry him. If she was nothing to marry him, he made her believe that because they were in a serious relationship. So I just needed to clarify that for you.
Okay. So then what I would just say for Sandra is to stay away from him.
All right.
That's my advice.
Thank you so much, Esmala. Thank you for calling. Okay. So it was important that I clarify that because I don't want people to go with the mindset of there's a kind of friendship that you can have with somebody that you'll be so strong, but you will tell them that you cannot marry them. I mean, if you're friends with someone, no matter how close you are, even if you read together, even if they come to your place and they bring food, even if they cook for you, even if you stay late night together reading and sharing food and hanging out, if you're friends, you're just friends. It's as simple as that. There's no supposition anywhere. If somebody is thinking that, oh, I like this guy and I want to marry him, but you're just friends, the guy has not asked you out, you've not asked him out, there's no relationship, nobody can think anything. You can't blame anybody for thinking anything. But if you're in a relationship and somebody's thinking, oh, I want this to go somewhere, you cannot blame the person when the person is hurt when you don't feel the same way. So I needed to clarify that. So Ismaila is saying, just move on. Stay away from him so that you can get to move on. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
I need more volume from you. I can hear you, but your voice is so low. Can you be louder, please?
I'm here.
All right, I need you to still be louder. Just tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Marvelous calling from Songo.
Marvelous calling from?
Songo.
From Songo. Okay, I still need you to be louder, please. I need you to be louder.
Okay, I'm calling from Songo.
From Songo. Thank you for calling. Are you a first-time caller?
No, I'm not a first time.
Okay.
I have been calling.
All right, thank you so much. Please go ahead.
I have been posting and this also involves authority and the way by which has gone. I might give advice that you ought to know what it is. Because when you are in a relationship with somebody and thereafter left you and marry another person, sensibly you have to reason that person will not have. So what is just for you either block the person or even self sincerely you have to feel the impact of what happened to you, what the people do. You ought not to ask people on what advice or what just become. I believe that you ought to know what it's like and what is good for her. But my candid advice for her to go ahead in order for her not to direct her mind towards what that man is or what that particular friend have from time past. Let her start and move ahead for it.
Thank you so much, Marvelous. Thank you for calling. Okay, I got bits and pieces of what he said, just bits and pieces. And I believe what he was trying to say is she should just stay away from him. She should block him and just make sure that she moves on, because this is a tricky situation. And for her own sanity, okay, I feel like I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not really sure what he said because I could barely hear him. So, Marvelous, if you can call back, please do. And this time when you call back, ensure that you speak louder, move away from where you are in case you're trying not to make noise so that we can hear you clearly. All right? Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Hello,
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, so do I do, no?
My brother, I do.
Yes.
God, they
Yes,
keep us.
Mr. Bona, they call you from there.
Mr. Buna, you go, they call you, be like first time caller. It could just be like, say, you they call for the first time with the kind of long distance
Yeah, I just come back. I just come in now. I'm just tired, you know.
Okay. Well, good to have you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, my sister. Please, let me just go straight to the point, yeah?
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that baby, that lady, yeah, she's supposed to give herself sense.
Mr. Bona. Now, because they don't say, now you the young like this.
Let me call you with the other line. I don't have credit on this one now.
No problem. Please do not sound this way when you call back, okay? Thank you.
I'll call you back.
Ooh, we don't talk like that. We don't say somebody doesn't have sense or she should give herself sense. No, we don't say that. There are more constructive ways of giving advice. All right. 2 minutes to 10 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. This is Adults Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight on Adults Conversations, we're profiling Sandra's story. So Sandra is telling us that her relationship with her ex-boyfriend ended because he got married. Okay, not because he got married. Or she said last year he got married, and her ex now started contacting her after he got married. Contacted her, apologized about hurting her, and asked that he wanted them to continue to be friends. So he will message her at odd hours, start up a conversation, and she said she used to reply, but she always kept the conversation short. So she's saying, is she reading meaning into this or what? That she feels like he wants to make a move on her, but she's not sure. So is she reading too much meaning into this? Is he really just trying to be friends without any strings attached? Or is there more to this? What are your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. This is Moses from Ogun State, Agbado.
Moses from Agbado. Are you calling for the first time?
Yes. No.
Okay. I'm familiar with this voice somehow.
Okay, my own idea. Even Bible talk and say every disappointment is a blessing. So for me, maybe we are moving forward. Even me, before I marry, this kind of thing happened to me. The girl from Imo State, then chop me, do this, I do this, I do. End of the day, one guy just claims say from Italy, come back. Yeah, the girl begin give me long leg because of dollar matter. So end of the day, the girl don't even know say the guy they look himself. The guy they look who they hustle. So end of the day, I said the girl leave me. Waka. See today, a carry better than not do anything for your head. By now, I thank God then I don't marry. So just this. So for me, maybe the girl just forget everything for God. Moving forward.
Interesting.
So maybe the girl just forget everything. I believe before person come up for a mother, but God don't choose your husband or a wife. So I believe say that guy not the girl or husband. So maybe they're moving forward. That's my own idea.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Moses. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Okay, so after sharing his own experience, Moses is saying that he doesn't think that guy was ordained to be Sandra's husband. Because if he was, he wouldn't end up married to somebody else. So he's saying she should forget about him. She should forget about him and just move on. So the fact that he keeps contacting her, she should just do her best to forget about her ex in this case, because he's married, he has moved on, so she should do the same. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm Adama. This is Mr. Bona calling back.
Mr. Bona, thank you for calling. Oh, yeah, I am waiting 1 year before now.
Okay, you see the phone will be there before. That lady, like I said before, she's supposed to say that man not for him. Understand? Not for her, not to say. You see, everybody have his own life. Like what this last caller said. Everybody have his own husband or wife. Understand? You see, she's supposed to see that man only take her for something else, not as a wife. I don't know whether you understand what I mean.
I think I understand you. I think what you mean to say
is the man like
he doesn't
another way, not like her as a wife. Understand?
Okay.
After somebody get married, finish. After getting married and they continue calling you, that you want two of you to continue the way you used to be before. It's absolutely nonsense. I don't understand that kind of thing. If that sister happened to be my sister, I believe me, I'll ask her to give me that phone number of that guy. I'll talk sense to the guy if you don't want to respect yourself. Understand? My advice to that lady is she just blocked the guy line.
Okay.
She blocked the guy line. Stop listening to anything. There's nothing to tell her at all. Because she doesn't like the girl at all. All he wants is something else. Understand? He has his own wife and he wants to continue dating with the girl again. That is, in fact, I don't just understand. As I heard this in the when I listen to herself, I'm going to call you this night. Please, my advice for her is she just cut off anything concerning that. Don't block the guy line. She stop listening to the guy herself. And if the guy happens to use another line to call her, she just talk to her anything she likes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Bona. Thank you. All right, Mr. Bona is super pissed about this. He's super pissed off about this. He doesn't like it. And he's basically saying that in this kind of situation, it's obvious that he wants to use you for something else. He wants to, I think what he's basically trying to infer is that he doesn't want to, since he has married somebody else, he obviously doesn't want to marry you. He just wants to have you as his plaything on the side. I think that's what Mr. Bona is trying to say. And he's saying that if you keep accommodating it, then that is most likely what will happen eventually. So he's saying if you were his sister, he would give you the advice and tell you, you know what, block him completely. And he would even ask for the guy's number and blast him for you. And if that doesn't work, he would say you should tell him anything that comes to your mind whenever you call or whenever he calls. But in this case, he's saying you should block him, block his number, and move on. All right, so there's some messages off of WhatsApp that I'll take, and then I'll take some calls, and then I'll go on Facebook and read some messages. So we keep alternating it like that because we want everybody's voice to be heard. All right. Okay, so Grandma Lainka sent this in, and this one says, Sum Tochuku, good evening. My greetings and love to the entire family. Sandra, please block his line. He's a wicked guy. You don't need advice at all. You should be a woman of integrity. Okay, Amami from Ikorodu says, yes, ma, if Sandra should keep to the guy, it's very dangerous to both of them. And for letting his wife get to know is another problem to the girl. Please, I think what she's basically saying, you need to block his number. And that's from Amami from Ikorodu. Tomo from Ogba is saying, this is an example of guys who don't want you and want to stop those who want you from getting to you. Guys who don't want you, but want to stop those who want you from getting to you. They are simply distractors. They will keep you stranded. You won't know where to go when lost with them in your life. They will delay you. You can use the whole of your valuable time waiting for them. I hope you get the logic. Run far away from him. Block him out of your life. He doesn't need you because if he did, you would already be his wife. He already has his best friend in the person of his wife. Don't let him frustrate your life by offering you the space of friendship that is a myth. Be focused on your request to God by praying for your own life partner. And that is from Tomo from Ogba. All right, so this one is coming in also from YO from Ikeja. YO says, Truly, I think you should keep a long distance. Block his number in order not to strike old feelings, except you are willing to become his sidekick or second wife. His eyes are still on you for fun. If he truly cared about you, why did he get married to somebody else? That's from YO from Ikeja. Matthew, Matthew from Oyero. I don't know where that is, and I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. He says, "Hello, Sandra. Keep away from that man. He doesn't love you. He's only interested to use you to satisfy his sexual desire. So please cut away from him." Okay. Okay, this one is coming in from Mr. Cosmas from Ikeja. Mr. Cosmas says, "Please, my sister, block him and forget him before you destroy his marriage." Okay, please. She's not trying to destroy his marriage. That's not what she's trying to do. But if he keeps coming at her and she doesn't have the strength to hold him, to keep him away, then eventually it just might get to this particular end. Okay. So quickly, I'm going on Facebook, and this one is coming from Olawale Peter Ione, who says, "I'll advise you block him because he may likely want to come back, having known that you are not married. So please stay away from him so that he won't use you to ruin his marriage." All right. So as I read the Facebook messages, please, you can still keep your calls coming in. And also you can keep your text and WhatsApp messages coming in as well. This is still Adult Conversations on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. We're profiling Sandra's story, and Sandra is basically telling us that her ex got married and contacted her after he got married, apologizing for hurting her and wanting to stay friends. He would contact her and send messages trying to initiate a conversation. And Sandra said she keeps cutting that conversation short. Now she's saying she thinks he wants to make a move on her, but she's not sure if he just wants to be friends or if he truly wants to make a move on her. So she's saying, am I reading too much meaning into this, or what is the case? Please give me advice. So do you think she's reading too much into the whole thing? Do you think that maybe he really wants to be friends? Or is it that married men cannot be friends with single women? Or that married men cannot be friends with single women that they used to date? What do you think? What do you think about it? The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message on to 0703 175 6537. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 917. At WFM 917. That's our handle. So go on there, follow us, and of course, comment on this story as it's being profiled. So yes, coming back to the story, it's a very tricky situation. And there's so many layers to this, because if Sandra still loves this guy, it might be harder and harder and harder to keep her will up, to keep that strong will, to keep that determination to not engage. It might be getting harder and harder and harder, particularly if he keeps contacting her. We don't know the situation in which they broke up. We just know that she said he is her ex. So is she reading too much meaning into this? Could he really just want to be friends? Could he really, truly just want to be friends? Is there a situation, is there a scenario that he could really just want to be friends and not want anything else? Is that possible? Going back on Facebook, this one is coming from Ajawo Babatunde. Ajawo is saying he's trying to make you his side chick even though you're still single, or since you're still single. So ignore him, avoid him, and even block him if you can. He's married, so let him carry his cross and leave you to carry yours as well. Okay, that's from Ajawa Babatunde. Benjaz is saying, my advice to you, just block him on all social media, on phone, in the streets, on the road. If possible, block him spiritually. Stay away from him. He's married for the love of God. He dumped you and married another woman. What does he want? Please don't be a victim of use and discard. Focus on how to find the right man for you and forget this dude because he is your past. All right. Thank you very much, Benjaz. Benjaz. Nancy Mbaikbeazu is saying, remove his phone number from your phone. He belongs to your past, so move on. Remove his phone number from your phone. He belongs to the past, so move on. Stella Amateur is saying, my sister Sandra, I will advise you not to block him. Allow him to be sending you messages. Don't ever try to reply him or don't ever try to reply him. Ignore him since he thinks you're only good in bed and not for marriage. You need to be guided, sister. God will surely settle you at the appointed time. And that's from Stella Amateur. Taiwo Ogomola Omilani is saying, yes, block him permanently. He's married, for heaven's sake. God will give you your own husband. Austin Patrick says he wants to keep you as a side piece or side chick. Block him everywhere except you want him back in your life to finally ruin you. Be careful. Guys like your ex are very dubious. Tell him he should be friends with his wife and block them. He wants to waste your life. Okay, that was very intense. John Oye says, tell him to leave you alone, otherwise you will report him to his wife. It doesn't always end well, sis, so move on, please. Danjuma Nugget says, block him. Dude just want to use you. Do not give him any chance, as this might break his marriage if his wife finds out. Okay, well, that is true. If his wife finds out about this, it definitely would, make her feel terrible. All right, so the number still to call is 07000 917 917. You can also send in a text or WhatsApp message onto 0703 175 6537. As I was asking, is there any situation under the planet that Sandra's ex really just wants her as a friend? Is that even a remote possibility? Is that something that can even happen? Pardon me. Is that something that can even happen? Or is he just trying to use that as a way of regaining her trust and then talking to her about a relationship or something later on? What are your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mom.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
This is Esther Bright. I'm calling from Magboro.
Esther Bright from Magboro. Are you calling for the first time?
Yeah, I'm calling for the first time.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you very much for calling. Please, what is your advice to Sandra?
My candid advice for the babe is that she shouldn't have any conversation with that man anymore. If she doesn't want to be a side chick. Because I heard one of the caller said, if he did not get married to her at the first time, he was just using her for fun. And that will continue. That would be very embarrassing if his wife gets to know. And if the wife and the babe, they are neighbors or staying around. So my own advice is that she should block the young man. No conversation. In fact, I go insult him to the extent that he will never stop by my number or my WhatsApp or Facebook anymore. Because you're married. There's no need for apology. Keep it to yourself and continue your life. Let me continue mine. That's my candid advice.
Thank you very much, Esther Bright. Thank you for calling.
Welcome.
Okay, so Esther Bright is telling us tonight that this whole thing is not as hard as it sounds. Just block him and move on. Block him. She was talking about the fact that he obviously just wants to use her as his side chick. And if she's open to that, then she can keep communicating with him because that's where the conversations will be headed at the end of the day. But if she's not comfortable with it, she should speak up and talk about it. And in this case, she should let him know that she doesn't want to talk to him again, or she should just go off on him in different ways because she really just doesn't want to talk to him. So Esther is basically saying block him, and that's block him. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello? Okay. Yes, Esther Bright is saying block him. And we've received a number of people saying earlier today to just block him. You know, people have called in to just block him, except you still develop feelings for him and you still just want to see where things go, which will be sad because he is married. He's married. He's married. So everything that concerns him should be out completely. And that's what people are saying. Block him and move on. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please, can you be louder, please?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you clearly.
All right. Thank you so much. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Sorry, I'm Temi Tokpe from Ikeja.
Temi Tokpe from Ikeja.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Please, I would like to ask you a question first of all. Is Sandra around here with you? Because as I am, like, I'm needed a wife so that me and Sandra can be together so that this guy now, and on our wedding day, we post it on Facebook, WhatsApp, and everywhere so that him to see that Sandra is already married so that he now find his own. You understand?
Okay.
Because I'm saying it like this guy is very, very heartless. He's this kind of a guy that wants Sandra life to be like he's too. So I guess in the other way, me and Sandra have been planning in our own.
Thank you very much, Tokpa. Thank you for calling. Well, as funny as that sounded, there's a point he was trying to make, which is the fact that Sandra doesn't need to sweat anything. She doesn't need to stress anything. As a matter of fact, he's looking for a wife. So they can get together, and when they get married, they can post it across all social media, and then he can also see that she's getting married. He's basically saying there are plenty, there are other people that want to reach out to you that could be your life partner. He's just basically saying block him, end that phase of your life so that you can move on to bigger and even better. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Pinto.
Good evening. Who am I speaking with?
How was your day?
My day was good. Thank you so much.
I'm Mr. Daniel calling from Ilaro.
Mr. Daniel from Ilaro.
Yes.
Are you calling for the first time, Mr. Daniel?
No, I'm a regular caller.
Okay. Well, we haven't heard from you in a while, so thank you very much for calling.
Oh, I called in the day before yesterday, I think.
Well, thank you again. Thank you again today. Please go ahead, Mr. Daniel.
Over this matter, I will suggest the baby should know if the guy is asking for a friendship, if he can draw the boundary of the friendship, fine and good. Because in life, we separate and we can meet again under a different level. Maybe the guy can be of help to her in time to come. But if it is the friendship of coming, if she knows she cannot come, if she cannot take the feeling of coming together from her heart as maybe as lovers, let her just cut the guy out of her life. She should not have a soft spot for whatever, but if it is just ordinary friendship, communicate, how are you doing, sharing maybe one or two problems together, that is okay. But if she cannot draw the boundary, the best thing is to block the guy off.
Thank you very much.
Not good. If the people say that water that is not good for drinking should not be used to wash the face.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much. So this is a different school of thought from what we've been receiving so far. He's saying that if you can draw boundaries, if you can set boundaries in this friendship that he's asking for, that your ex is asking for, If you can set boundaries, then you should be good to go. You can keep a friendship with him without guilt, without shame, without anything. You can keep a friendship with him because you know he's not thinking about you in that perspective. But if you if you're in the flip side situation, and by that what I mean is if you're the person at the moment that feels a certain type of way about this, you can just end it. If you cannot set boundaries, if you cannot adhere to those boundaries that you have set, then this will not work out because it's possible that he just may want to use you. Also, Mr. Daniel is saying you don't know what the future holds. He could want to do something nice for you or, anything really. And then you would maybe miss out on that because you blocked him. So he's saying set boundaries, and if boundaries don't work, then you can cut him loose. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Sorry, I'm Felix from Ikeja.
Say that again, please.
I said I'm Felix from Ikeja.
Felix from Ikeja. All right. What is your advice, please?
Well, I don't see any reason of Sandra keeping relationship with this guy again. One thing about life or relationship, once it's broken, Sandra has picked up the pieces and moved life ahead. There is no going back to who has caused your life. So, for my own advice with Sandra, let Sandra never look back on this guy. Let her just keep on moving her life. At least, who is ahead? God has keeping someone ahead for her. She can meet any guy and move her life ahead. So, you can step back on this guy. I don't think I'm not in support of that idea. Don't have anything to do with this guy. Just let go of him. He's married. So I don't suggest that I should do quick back on this guy.
Okay, thank you so much, Felix. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is saying that he doesn't even understand why Sandra is even bothering with this guy. He's married and you need to move on. That's basically what he's saying. He's married now. There's no point spiraling out of control and waiting around for him because that's not going to happen. So in this case, just how do I put this now? Just end things, basically. End things and make sure that they suit your purpose at the end of the day. So yes, I think that's about it from Felix. Just end it, move on, and let that be that. Okay, 25 minutes past the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. If you're just joining, this is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Here on Adult Conversations, you give out the advice by contributing on the phone line and the text and WhatsApp line. You can send messages there, text and WhatsApp 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. That's how to send your text to and your WhatsApp messages. Please keep the calls coming in. We still want to hear more from you. We've gotten calls from a number of people this evening, but we want to hear more so that at this point, it's basically just out there in the open, and then there's no need to just worry about anything. So Sandra is just not into what's really going on. She doesn't really understand what's going on because she's saying, am I really meaning into this? Is he just trying to be a friend? And it's just me thinking that he wants to make a move on me. So what do you think that Sandra can do in this situation, bearing the fact that her ex is married? Her ex is married and he's apologizing, trying to initiate contact. According to it just feels like there's something he wants. According to Sandra, it feels like there's something he wants and he wants to make a move on her, and so she's not sure of what to do and what to do next. Now she's saying, am I reading meaning into it, into him being nice, into him checking up on me, or is this a whole thing, a whole different thing? is this a whole different thing? As in, is it trying to say something else aside that? Well, I guess we'll hear from you when you call in. We'll hear from you when you call in. So call in or send a text, a WhatsApp message, something. So in this case, it will be, this is a good place to say that Sandra is not basically saying that he's a bad guy or anything. She's not saying how terrible the guy is. All she said was that the guy's an ex and that he got married last year. So it's just a situation that Sandra has found herself in. She has found herself in that situation. She doesn't really know what to do. And the whole thing is just tricky. She's asking, should I be friends? Should I not be friends? Should I be friends? Should I not be friends? Should I be friends? Should I not be friends? Again, as I said, the whole thing is tricky. But what works for you at the end of the day. So is this a situation that is this a situation where her ex is just trying to be friends, just trying to really be involved in her life, but try it in a way that it doesn't really meddle with her love life and all of that. So if she keeps talking to him and it gets to a point where she starts, stirring new feelings and everything, to a large extent, she possibly may not be able to notice other people who are interested in her. And that was a reference to a comment I saw in the group. That refers to a comment I saw in the group. So the whole thing is so tricky and she doesn't know what to do. So she's saying the fact that he's calling me at odd hours, messaging me at odd hours, is he trying to initiate something? And we don't know what goes on from there, if the whole situation is going to blow up. But there's a way to cover it. There's a way not to make it blow up. It just needs, everyone to give Sandra some advice so that she can sift and pick the advice that she wants to give and apply to her life by herself. The number still to call 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Remember that you can send a text or a WhatsApp message onto 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. So call in and let's have this conversation. Call in, let's have this conversation. Send in your messages so that we can really talk about this. Sandra is saying, am I reading meaning into this? So as a man, as any man listening, is there any relationship that works with the opposite sex even when you're married? That could be platonic and just beneficial to both of you without being his girlfriend? Are there any types of situations like that? Now, the reason I'm asking this is because if there's something to gain from being friends with him, should she place that above how she feels, which is the fact that she doesn't know if he wants to be friends or not, or if he's trying to make a move on her and all. So as I said, very tricky situation, but at the end of the day, everything will sort out itself. And I believe that because after we've given all of this advice, whether or not you choose to implement it, that will be up to you. So your results that you get after the advice has been given, that's up to you as a person. All right, so call me up on 07000 917 917, 07000 917 917. Hello, good evening. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but please try to call back. Okay, please try to call back. All right, so at this point, things are tricky because her ex on one hand, or the same hand basically, is saying that he wants to remain friends. He apologizes for hurting her. But now the twist here is this friend we're talking about is married. This friend we're talking about is married. Why does he want to still be friends with her? Why does he still want to be friends at all at this point? He's married. Why does he want to be friends? should he just she should just accept it and let it, whatever he says, or is this something that needs to be talked about a little bit more? Because I'm over here and the situation is kind of dicey. It's kind of dicey because we don't know if she has any feelings attached to this guy. We don't know if there are any feelings attached to this guy, or if this is just a let's casually be friends. I just, I still want you in my life. You're a good person. I'm sorry we didn't get married. This didn't work out. Sorry for breaking your heart. I mean, could this just be Sandra's ex wanting to just be friends? All right, please try to call back. Okay. So as a guy, is there a situation there? I mean, what would the situation be if at that point she continues to be friends with him and everything is going okay, and then his wife finds out? His wife finds out and everything just becomes such a huge deal, and Sandra will be accused of breaking his marriage. So it's just a whirlwind of different things going on. Sandra on one hand is saying that, oh, she doesn't know if her ex is trying to make a move on her or not. So some of these uncertainties are definitely there. But the basic point here is, am I reading too much or not? And that's what Felix is asking. Am I reading too much or not? So it's just, is this me trying to say, oh, he's trying to be friends, and I, okay, file it like that in my head and I move on? Or what do you want to do? So call me 07000 and you can recall it, call the number again, 07000 let me take that again. 07000 text message or WhatsApp line 0703 175 6537. Yes, and that's it. So this is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. I genuinely want to know if it's just impossible for a married man to have friends such as somebody that he has dated before. Is it impossible? Does it always come with an agenda to be able to sleep with them afterwards, or what is that situation? Now, the reason for asking is as clear as day, and that's because she's not interested. And by she, I mean Sandra. She's not particularly interested, which is why she was cutting the calls and everything. But she just needs to know what's going on. She just needs to know what's going on. So she's wondering, do you still like me? What are we doing? Why are you talking to me? And of course, the guy is definitely married to somebody else. And this is why a lot of people are saying he will just use you and dump you. He will use you and dump you. He will use you and dump you. So that doesn't happen, or so that nothing bad in line of this happens, it's just imperative that we put all our options together, which is be friends or block him. Which is be friends or block him. But what are your thoughts? Is there anyone who thinks, oh, maybe we can, I don't even know how to put it now. I think the basic point here is for Sandra to know if she's the one thinking up whether the guy likes her and is trying to make a move on her, or if that's what he's really trying to do. Hello, good evening. Hello. Good evening. Tell me your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is
Hello, are you there?
My name is Biodun. I'm calling from Magboro.
Biodun from Magboro. Thank you for calling. Are you calling for the first time?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
What I can say for the lady is that maybe the lady can ask her, did I have any right to give you? Do you have any right that you want to give me,
Hmm.
you should give me and leave me my life. So, because you may have anything that you want to give the girl. When she block him, he doesn't have any right again. So you should just ask her, did I have any right in your hand you want to give me? So you should give me and leave me my life. Is that right?
All right. Well, Biodun, thank you very much for calling. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So at this point, it's just a game of we don't even know what's happening. But you if you've been following the conversation, you would see that more people are thinking that he might just want to just have fun or just use Sandra. And if she keeps encouraging this, that just might be the case. He might just want to have her as his side chick. So what do you think she can do about this, about the fact that he keeps calling and keeps texting and she doesn't want to reply, or she doesn't want to be his side chick? What's the next move for Sandra to make? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please tell me your name and where you are from.
My name is Wale. I'm calling from
Wale from Magboro.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead, Wale.
Okay. In my own opinion, I would say Sandra should just just walk away. Possibly, if it's possible, she can just lock him in any avenue that you can reach out from. Because the reason is because if someone hurts you, when you're in a relationship and the person hurts you, get married to another person, what is that thing you think that person will give you afterwards? Most times when people hurt you, they do more. They tend to do more of the hurt than good. So if the decision she makes now will determine her future, so to speak, because let's imagine a scenario where she meets another guy and this other guy, the ex, is calling while she's with the new guy. And at the time, maybe the guy is trying to call her in the evening, maybe late in the night, and the ex is still calling. We all know that when most men leave relationships, get married to another woman.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
I'm listening. I'm with you.
Most times when men get married, I'm a man too, I know what it is like. So when men get married and they go with their wife and remember their ex, they remember the nasty things they've done, they just want to, maybe the guy just basically wants to just have the lady on the side, he can call on her anytime,
even when he's
just
married.
for fun. So it will be wise, if she's mature enough to understand all these things, it will be wise for her to just, pick up her life again and, start new. Instead of just waiting, trying to see opportunities. There's no other opportunities you can get from someone who you never got that disappointed you at first. That's just the reality.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Wale. Thank you for calling. So much said in that little time from Wale, and you can hear how much he feels, in touch with this, how much you can hear how passionate he is about this. And this particular case is very tricky because this is not a situation where the guy is single. The guy is not single. He's married. So whatever feelings, whatever all of that has to get to a point where, you can understand certain realities, which is the fact that he's married, you're not, but he's messaging you. Why is he messaging you? Are you replying to his messages? What is he saying? Things along those lines. But if he's still saying that, oh, he wants you to be in his life, he doesn't want to live without you or have anything to do with you, then that can be super sad. So I think the basic point here is is how do I phrase this now? Sandra just wants to know if she's being too forward by reading meaning into the messages that he sends her. Well, I guess we won't know now until we get some feedback from Sandra, maybe later on after. But yes, you can still call, you can still send in text messages or WhatsApp messages. So that is definitely still okay to do. Send your comments in, and of course, we'll read it. Hello?
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening. I can hear you. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Blessing. I'm calling from Magboro.
Oh, Blessing. Okay, thank you for calling.
Yes, good evening. No, I was just saying Sandra should just move on, because if the guy really loved her in the first place, he wouldn't have just let go of her just like that. So she just move on, just block his contact on every social media or whatever means they have been communicating.
Are you there?
Yes. Okay. So that's my own point. I just feel Sandra should just block him or whatever means of communication they have.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling.
All right.
That's a lot of good advice right there. But I guess that Sandra will be able to decide on, is this a good thing? Is this not? Sandra is the only one that will be able to really decide at the end of the day, is it right that she's calling me and talking to me? Or what do I really want out of this? Do I want a friendship? Is he capable of a friendship without any strings attached? And some of those answers would possibly assist in your next decision going forward. So, as I always say, this is Adult Conversations, your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. And we're profiling Sandra's story tonight. If you're just joining, Sandra's story is just basically that her boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend in this case, her ex-boyfriend keeps messaging her. Bear in mind that the guy got married last year. He keeps messaging her and expecting for her to just leave everything and do whatever it is that he wants. But in this situation, she is not looking to be anything like that. Sandra wants to be her own type of woman. She wants to be her own woman. She doesn't want a situation where, in this case, she would be demanding, or she would be in that kind of situation where she's friends with a man who is married, and then that friendship can possibly come into drama at some point. So he's saying, in this situation, it's like, what am I choosing? Am I choosing to retain a friendship with this person, or am I choosing to block the person and move on? So I guess this is the part where you just make up your mind, whatever it is that you desire to do, you do. But I would like to even know from guys why it's even a thing. Like, what kind of prompting makes this happen? Somebody is already married, and then, you're already married, now contact them and you're asking, you that you're not married, you contact them, and you're trying to say you want to be friends, but you are married, you don't want to be friends, particularly with me, your ex. So yes, it's a tricky situation, but hey, it is what it is. We have the best time on Adult Conversations. That's where you hear stories like this. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Sandra is saying that initially she thought he was trying to make a move on her, but she's not sure? She's not sure. That's why she's here. That's why she wants to find out what could possibly be going on between both of them, basically, the entire situation. So at this point, I think let me read this part of the story. She says, I'm not in any relationship or anything, but I feel he's trying to make a move on me and his wife doesn't even know about me. So this makes you wonder that, oh, so why are you trying to be friends when your wife doesn't even know about me? Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Okay, I called before, one day from ago.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I skipped the point I wanted to make. Most of the relationships now, or should I say marriages, that breaks after maybe less than a year or maybe 2 years or thereabouts are caused by these kind of issues. When somebody gets married and you're still communicating with your ex, there's no way you be friends with your ex and you will not get intimate. It is impossible. It is just a matter of time when you say you just want to be friends January, February, and at a point in time you have nothing to discuss, and you just have to go back to those old memories and remember the things you've done and the things you've shared in the past. And most times for the female, they are always on the receiving end because for the man can go back to the wife and say I'm sorry, and the wife will accept. But for a female who has a goal in life, there are some couple of things you don't do at all. You don't even engage in. Most times when relationship breaks up like that, the man easily just walks away, possibly get somebody to quickly log on to. But for the female, it takes time because of the heartbreaks and everything. So if a woman decides to still communicate with the ex, well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it has a lot of negative effects. Because there's no way you can communicate with your ex and concentrate on the present relationship that you're in. It's most times you see that the ex takes a lot of time, considering compared to the new guy when in a relationship. So, and if she's not careful, she'll just discover that eventually those feelings will come back, and she'll just be with the new guy for being their sake. You understand? It should just be a matter of just being there. And eventually she might not even have a stable relationship, And before she knows it, she's grown up, she's all old and everything, and her life is miserable. So sometimes the decisions one makes, really matter in this kind of situation. It's not even something you have to start debating or start asking people for advice for, because it is logic. You understand the end result. You understand? They are going to get down. And eventually when she gets pregnant, you tell her to abort it and all that, and and the rest. So if she wants to have a bright future, let me put it that way, she has to know what to do now. You understand? And not nurture things that are not necessary. Not every word men say mean anything. Let some men will just say things because they want things. I know you'll be like, why am I passionate about this? I've been here before. I know it's like it doesn't cost anything. You understand? It's nothing. There's no feeling involved. So just make sure tell her not to be stupid, so that she won't just waste her future like that. That's just the point.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much for calling. At this point, we're far spent into our program today. But I can take one last call. And then we wrap it up with that one last call. So if that's you, just dial the number now and call me up so that you can give your advice to Sandra. What should she do at the end of the day? She has received advice for both sides. She has received advice for both parts. I think everybody somehow has come to a consensus that if you keep encouraging him, he may think that there's somewhere out there for him to just do whatever he wants and then go back home to his wife. So that's not the case. And yes, there might still be feelings involved, but it's advisable for Sandra to not stay in this space for too long. So, yes, as I said, rounding off very soon. it's very imperative that I just say a big thank you to everyone who has called, contributed, sent in text, sent in WhatsApp messages on Facebook, literally everywhere. If you've commented, said one or two things to Sandra and given her advice, please also make sure that you're on the right track as well as you give advice. Nobody's saying your advice is not good, but try to, read out the stories, understand it, so we can all be in the same direction. So thank you very much to everyone. WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, text message, even calls, Facebook. Okay, I've called Facebook before. Thank you to everyone for your contributions. And at this point, I believe that Sandra will be able to make an informed decision by herself. At this point, she'll be able to make an informed decision whether or not she needs to read meaning into it or not. So at this point, thank you again, and I hope you will join me same time, same station next week. Same time, same station next week. Thank you very much for all your contributions. My name is Somto Titilayo Ajama. Good evening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your girl again. You are listening to WFM 91.7. Yeah, keep your ear tuned in. That's it. Bye-bye.
I know love sometimes hurts, but it's over now. 'Cause when you are around, everything just works. Baby, when you need a shoulder at your shoulder, even when it's getting cold, I'll keep you warmer. You don't really know how much that you do mean to me. We'll be together this time forever, no matter the weather. This time forever, we'll be together this time forever, no matter the weather. This time forever. You don't even have to try to sweep me off my feet. When I'm having a bad day, you make me smile. I don't know how you get me to laugh, girl, you're funny. If there was any time I hurt you, girl, you know that I'm sorry. Baby, when you need a shoulder, I'm your shoulder. Even when it's getting cold, I'll keep you warm. You really know how much that you do mean to me. We'll be together this time forever, no matter the weather. This time forever.
Yo, after we pick a date, after the ring and the cake, after the pastor says grace, after we bring your last few boxes of things to my place in the first 5 years, let's have 2 kids. Gonna need space, move to a new crib. Sometimes I gotta travel to do gigs and make money so we can save the school fees in the next few years. Till we're 10 years together, I know we're gonna face harsh weather. When the ring comes, baby girl, I'll be your umbrella. Nobody can love you better, my girl. Can't promise that I will never hurt you, but I promise to support you and to treat you like I know you're worth more, even if I don't have the words to. And it's our 20-year anniversary. You still take my breath in the nursery. You remember when our kids were at nursery? How they thought it was done with the tertiary. 30 years in, it's starting to feel old. Looking at your face, your beauty's still gold. I'm right by your side, your hand I will hold. Never has a more beautiful story been told. And you get sick in your old age. promise not to leave till you're okay. I'ma sing till you read till you hold your hand and sit by your side for the whole day. Cause that's my wife. Love you on love and I love you in the afterlife. Girl, I'm gonna leave you never. What I'm trying to tell you, girl, is I'll love you forever, forever.
Baby, when you need a shoulder, I'm your shoulder. Even when it's getting cold, I'll keep you warm. I'll make you warm, baby. You don't really know how much that you do mean to me.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I don't wanna wait for nobody.
Keep it locked. Turn your radio up. We are WFM 91.7.
I've been looking for you everywhere, and I've been asking God when I will find you, dear. When I will find you, dear. I know sometimes last days when you listen to back. But I'll be patient, I will wait for you, my dear. For you, my dear. Wherever you are, you have my heart. My darling, take me as I am. Just like Adam and Eve, God made you for me, my darling. I'll be loving you from now till I find you, darling. I hope that you like me. The way I be, I couldn't wait for you. And night, and future life. Oh, future life. No, future life. I am loving you already, dear future life. Future life. Oh, yeah. Will you be there, my dear? And if I've got no more, will you stay, my dear? I will make mistakes. Please forgive me, dear. Please forgive me, dear. We got the long road to walk on my hand, my dear. My hand, my dear. Whoever you are, you have my heart. My darling, take me as I am. Just like Adam and Eve, God made you for me, my darling. I'll be loving you from now till I find you, darling. I hope that you like me. The way I be, I pray for you. Day and night, dear future life. Oh, dear future life. No, dear future life. Wherever you are, you have my heart. My darling, take me as I am. Just like Adam and Eve, God made you for me, my darling. I'll be loving you from now till I find you, darling. I hope that you like me. The way I be, I'm gonna pray for you. And always their future wife. Their future wife. Don't tell me where I find their future wife. I'm gonna pray for you. Their future wife. Their future wife. I'm in you, their future wife. Please take me as I am, their future wife. I'm gonna pray for you, their future wife. Wonder how that you would like me when I find you, when I find you, when I find you. Your future wife.